Cities emerge, grow, shrink, and evolve. They go bankrupt, they sprawl and densify. Residents, developers, constructors, politicians, investors, activists, and architects are all players in an ongoing multiplayer urban game. It is challenging to get so many diverse people to work together. Very often, one or very few of these actors get their way in the production of the city, but the lack of a collaborative process can have disastrous results. Here we see Ordo City, a state-led project in China, which was built to house 1 million people, but now lies almost completely empty. The scene is alike with market-driven initiatives. This is Jesenia in Spain. In this old model of democracy, a few dominant parties, deploying vast arsenals of wealth and resources, prepare initiatives for everyone else, and some more than others, and the rest can only agree or disagree with the complete proposal. We advocate evolution of diverse ideas into an ecology of shared visions, to replace the old democracy's simplistic yes or no choice. Philosopher Pierre Lévy coins this process collective intelligence. Play the City asks, what could be the medium for this new kind of democracy? The famous futurist Buckminster Fuller believed that something as simple as a game could make the world a more fair, resilient, and peaceful place. We see simulation games in the war industry, serious games in education, and even medical puzzle games where the public can join in unfolding proteins. In the entertainment industry, the online role-playing game World of Warcraft alone has logged a cumulative 5.93 million years of play. Just as other fields are using games so effectively, Play the City introduces games into the field of city making. Play the City Foundation has been designing city games for various urban questions around the globe. How do we approach a site in the first place? We identify an urban question and look at who is already involved in the situation. The philosopher Manuel de Landa once wrote, "Before we can generate buildings themselves, we must model the decision-making processes that give rise to them." This is an important step in developing a successful game. By mapping the players and modeling how they connect to one another, we gain clues for creating rules of interaction. The Amsterdam Nord game, for example, takes on the challenge of developing an urban wasteland in the geographical center of the Dutch capital. While there are numerous entrepreneurs with fascinating ideas, this site remains empty due to its inflexible legal plan. In the spring of 2011, we made an open call for everyone with visions and plans to play Nord. Besides the housing corporation Aimera, the municipality of Nord, and the Shell Research Laboratories, hidden players, such as a French investor interested in party boats on the Eye River, or a developer who plans a floating village, and ANGSA, an NGO working for the public green space, joined the game. Now that we have an idea of who is involved, how do we actually play? The game table is a physical 3D model of the city area. There are rules for built and open spaces such as density, maximum height, and public green space. Players bring the game to life using the Play the City game library. This is a growing collection, which up until now numbers 2,359 pieces, buildings, roads, spaces, and activities. These very simple pieces, in combination with the ingenuity of players, generate countless scenarios for the future. Pieces are added and taken away, and even existing buildings can be reassigned. Let's look at some real examples of how players propose ideas and make them come to life. Stakeholder Osvaldo Remfrom is a resident of Van der Pek who wants to move to Overhoeks, a more prestigious neighborhood with a waterfront. He organizes his friends as a collective, and they start taking over the wasteland. Hans Vermeulen, an architect, provides them with advice on how to occupy urban space. He also calls in the activist to support the building activity, and the development Occupy Overhoeks is born. Policymaker Kees Diepeveen, the alderman of Amsterdam Nord, accepts the movement and promises to get them permits within a year. 3 weeks later, the Shell Groot Lab was occupied by the Occupy Amsterdam movement. Ideas jump to reality more often in Play the City games. The architect Sacha Glassi, who proposed a floating swimming pool on the river, got consistently positive game votes. Today, he is negotiating real plans to build the pool with the city. After the real-life sessions, players continue the city games online. This way they stay in contact and can develop initiatives further into reality. Imagine what could happen if only a tiny percentage of time put into online games like World of Warcraft was given to city gaming. You could become a hero in a real-life quest. Each edition of Play the City can join previous games online as part of an expanded network of continuously running games, with knowledge and experience shared amongst everyone. Ankara could learn from Shenzhen, Boston from Almere, Berlin from Vladikavkaz, and London from Mumbai. Just log in to www.playthecity.nl and place your city's problems and potentials on our world map. Play the City eagerly awaits your challenges.